Now, y'all know surgery is one of the things that we talk about, and I was going to wait until somebody that actually got the surgery brought this up before I started talking about it because, people get emotional. But I do have a whole group of videos, a playlist about getting cosmetic surgery if you plan on it, or if you have gotten it already and you just need to hear about it, a little information, check out my playlist. But let's get into how these doctors are trying to defend this surgery when they know good and well what these people are complaining about as far as the smell. And y'all know I'm going to give it to you straight. It's a dead meat smell, period. Like, it's no other way to describe it. You can literally smell rotting flesh. You can smell the infection. You know how you take your earring back off after you've had it on for a while and it's a little funky back there? Yeah, that's that type of smell. The doctors know that this is a possibility, even if you take care of yourself properly. But I've seen quite a few videos on TikTok where these doctors who are doing the surgery, which I done told y'all time and time again, they are not to be trusted, but they're basically trying to blame it on the girls wearing these funky fajas and leaving them on. And you know how you drain after the surgery, they're basically blaming it on the drainage being trapped in the faja. Now, let's talk about the faja for a second, because a lot of them are like that nylon material and that rubber, the spandex, and you know, it stretches and conforms to your body and all of that stuff. And we all know that that material is not breathable. But the only thing that the faja is doing is actually magnifying the smell that's already there. These doctors are not going to be honest with you because that is one of the main sources of their bread and butter. And as you can see, or if you do your research and find out where a lot of these doctors came from previously, a lot of them have switched professions in order to be able to tap into that plastic surgery money, because the influx of people getting them was just too much and they just had to get a piece of the pie. Now, they know that eventually BBL culture is going to change or it's going to die down and that the money is going to slow up. So they're trying to do as many as possible. So certain things that could be a downside to the surgery, they strictly are not going to tell you. They're not going to tell you that it's a strong possibility that your body might reject the fat. They're not going to tell you that they're overfilling your behind because a lot of that fat that they're injecting is going to die and it's not going to adhere to your body. And no, this is not going to be an experience that every single person is going to have. It's a case by case thing. You don't know that it's going to happen until after it's done. They have no way of knowing whether your body is going to reject the surgery or not, because it's not like they do a test run or they do a trial surgery before they actually go in and fill your body up with the fat. It is very important that you do your research before you get up there and get on that table, because there are things that you're going to know about yourself that your doctor doesn't know, like how well your body heals, how well you take care of yourself, how consistent you are with the aftercare, especially because women go to other states or other countries and get the surgery done, and then they go back home and you're not able to have the access to that doctor that did your surgery because they're nowhere around you. And then let's be real and honest, after you get your surgery, those doctors are not as available to you as they were when they were trying to get you to pay for it. Nobody talks about how they'll ignore you after and how they'll give you the runaround and have their assistant call you and have this nurse call you and that person call you and refer you to all of these different numbers. And, by the time, like, who knows? You could be done fell out and died by the time somebody, call you back. Those surgeons do not care about you after they take your money. And if they feel as though you're like a bugaboo patient, they're going to ignore you. They're going to rush you off the phone because they have so many surgeries lined up when they're in the office that they really don't have time for the money that they got already. Get familiar with necrosis because that's literally dying flesh, and that could be a part of the problem. When you go to the bathroom, and whether you're urinating or pooping, you have to make sure that you wipe your behind after, because you are now possibly urinating on the behind that you didn't have before. So that can also be a part of the smell. I also recommend a portable bidet just so you can rinse off down there with some water as much as possible when you go to the bathroom. When you wash your faja, make sure that you add peroxide to the soaking water. Like if you soak your garment, just make sure that you put peroxide in it to clean, remove, disinfect any little bodily secretions that your faja may have came into contact with. Make sure that you have multiple fajas. Don't just have one, because I know that they're expensive, but it's an expensive surgery and process. The whole entire thing, regardless to whether the cost of the surgery you feel as though it's cheap, you still have to do aftercare. You have to buy garments and you have to adjust to your new body. So you want to make sure that you have enough financial cushion to support the things that you might possibly need afterwards. And real quick, I just want to point out the fact that when men were speaking up about the women that they were fornicating with that had the surgery, and they were stating that they had a funny smell, y'all attacked them as if they were, I guess, hating or lying or whatever. But now y'all are attacking the woman that actually got the surgery and says that it has a smell. It's just like, it's no winning with y'all in regards to trying to educate or share the information. But do with this information what you must, but don't say nobody told you about the possibilities.